Hello guys, welcome back to today's Pickleball. As promised, I will be doing a little unboxing of the Lifetime Pickleballs that came today, as I said in my community post yesterday. So, I did receive them. I already opened one of the packages. This is what they came in. These big, plastic, little container things. But I have previously bought these in small quantities once before. I bought a little 3-pack, and their packaging was actually better before. It came in a little nice kind of tube that was colored and everything, so it looks like they had to cut some costs and give cheaper packaging, but still got the balls, so that's good. Yes, I ordered two 12-packs, so that's total of 24, and then super excited to use these because I, like to use them as practice balls, because I was using the other 3 and I really liked them, so I was like, okay, I probably should get, switched to them full-time as a practice ball. So that's what I did, and I got these. They are very expensive. I would say, don't get these if you're looking for a budget ball. This is a type of ball that you're going to use if you're, very serious about pickleball, if you're literally trying to be, the best you possibly can at it and trying to get better, in every way possible, and the ball can make the difference, technically, sometimes, I used to use the Vulcan, and that ball had the worst bounce of all time. I mean, after about 2 games, you would see it go out of round. So, yeah, just not the best ball, but these, I never seen one crack. It's funny, because I said the same thing about a year ago when I did the Selkirk Pro S1 review, and I have actually seen a Selkirk ball crack since that, so that's an update. But so far, never seen a Lifetime ball crack, and I don't think I will anytime soon. But I don't know, so I'm gonna get some B-roll shots of these balls, and you can see up close for good video. Okay, so let's get in the details of these pickleballs compared to other ones. I don't specifically have other pickleballs on hand. I do own them, but I just don't feel like getting them, I'm gonna be honest with you. But I compared some different specs of these ones compared to other balls that are commonly used, including Franklin X40, Onyx Pure, Durafast 40. I didn't get the Selkirk Pro S1, which is actually funny, but I think I forgot to. But I compared the weight, and based on hitting these at the PPA tournament that I went to, it did feel slightly heavier, compared to, for example, X40, which, I don't like that ball, but it felt heavier, and the Franklin X40, I would consider it a heavier ball, on the heavier side, but these even felt maybe, I would say, a little bit heavier, so that was actually pretty interesting. The diameter in inches, exact same size, 2.9 inches in diameter compared to other average pickleballs in the market. So the difference, this is where the differences start to happen. So the bounce from 78 inches, I saw it was 33.5 inches, and compared to 33 inches on the Franklin X40. So, and then also 32 on the Onyx Pure, and then 33 on the Durafast 40. I'm reading off of the spreadsheet if you're wondering what I'm looking at. Just because I had to write everything down, because there's no way I would have remembered all these specs. So that's kind of where the difference is. It kind of makes tennis players at a slight advantage, because you're going to get that ball bouncing up here, kind of. So that gives them the advantage to really get these big, loopy ground strokes in there, which can kind of give them an advantage, especially in singles for people like Hunter Johnson, Chris Hayworth, maybe even women's singles players like Anna Lee or Kate Fahey. That can really give them some advantages in terms of that kind of stuff. I don't even know if they like the ball, but I'm just throwing out stuff. And then another difference compared to other balls is, instead of 40 holes, these have 48. That's why it's called the LT Pro 48. 48 meaning 48 holes, compared to 40 on all the other balls except one. That ball being the Selkirk S1 with 38 holes, so 10 less than these. So these have more. So people would say, oh, 48 holes, it's going to play very slow. That's actually not correct. These actually are pretty fast playing balls. I would say it's about the same as like a Vulcan, maybe slightly slower, but they're not a slow ball. Don't be like, oh, if I go use these in heat, they're gonna play like a Franklin X40. That's kind of where it's like not true. A lot of people say that they play like an X40 out in hot conditions like Florida or something. That's just not the case with these. The way they're formulated in the resin formula is extremely hard. Like, you cannot squish it. Like, if you really press your thumb into it, it's not gonna squish. So it's a very solid ball, great feeling. These are also an injected mold 2-piece ball, so you can see like there's kind of a seam. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but there's a seam that runs up the ball. It's like this right here, and it runs all the way through. And so what they do is they take 2 sides and just put them together, makes one ball. You would think that when you hit it more towards the seam, it would give you a different result. That is just not what I found with my testing. I found that it gave the exact same result wherever you hit the ball, whether it's in the farthest place from the seam, which is the middle, or right at the seam. It's exactly the same. I will also be using these balls as testing balls for example, breaking in paddles with a ball machine, doing practice, doing games. You know, this is the main ball that I'll most likely be using for the main ball. I know I'll definitely be using this for paddle testing. The other stuff is still getting ideas on. But yeah, so every other ball on this list is an injected mold 2-piece. Why the LT Pro48 stands out though is because of those extra holes. You know, it creates more air resistance, making it truer bounce, truer fly, more predictable in general. So it kind of just gives it that slight advantage that I think is a benefit from these balls. So I think that the people who should be using these balls, I think if you want to pick them up, I think first thing, you should be wanting to get better at pickleball. I don't think, you know, these aren't for a person who's just like, you know, average rec player at the courts or something. I think that there's no point. Like, you have to kind of find the purpose of using a specific ball for a specific reason. For example, are you training for an event that uses these balls specifically? If you answered yes to the question, that's another reason why you may want these more than, or you may need these more than another ball. The only other thing is, I would say, is really if you're playing PPA events, these don't conform with USAP standards. They're not USAP approved, so USA Pickleball approved. These are, I don't know, I don't think they passed testing because the bounce was too high. I don't, you know, take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if that's true. I think that's what the reason was though, but they're really only gonna be working in sanctioned events that are under UPA kind of sanctioning. So yeah, but that's really all I got to say about these balls. I will be using them in the future, and if any other really cool balls come out, I will be picking those up and doing a review on them. And yeah, I'll keep posting content, keep making the best content that I can. And yeah, so stay tuned for more. Today's Pickleball. We out.